G'day folks, welcome back. I am currently standing on a public bushland reserve which is completely surrounded by private land, and I'm going to show you how I got here perfectly legally without a helicopter.
Paddling jacks, driving on the tracks, and so much more. Come along with all things outdoors.
I was poring over maps and Google Earth recently looking for new camping spots and everything, and I came across this really interesting geological formation here that I really wanted to check out as a potential camping spot. But when I got onto the relevant mapping sites, I found out that it's a public bushland, but it's completely surrounded by private property. Now, normally, me being a good citizen, that would probably preclude me from doing anything about it. But what I did find out when I was on a specific Vic government mapping website is there's an unused road license here. When the land was being settled and parcelled out to landowners, they had the forethought to put in road reserves so that if there ever needed to be access to an area, they could activate that road at some stage in the future. Obviously, there is no road here, but if you go on to the, I forget the name of the website, I'll put it down below, you will find that there is actually a laneway there, which is an unused road license. So what you want to do is go to a website called Digital Twin Victoria. It's a Victorian government-based mapping website which outlays all of the land tenures across the entire state. So whether it's public or private, land types, all of that sort of stuff. And what it actually gives you is a map of Victoria, and you can go through and choose via the catalogue a bunch of different data sets that you want it to find for you. So in this case, what we've done is we've gone Vic Map Crown Land Tenure Aggregated. And then what that does is it brings up the basically the road reserves, the bushland reserves, that sort of thing. So we're zooming in to find the particular parcel of land that we're interested in, and you can see there is the specific geological feature that we've zoned in on, and you can see there's a nice little boundary around it. If I change the map settings, you can see it is a bushland reserve. Now, all of this white around it is actually private property, but you'll notice there's this little polygon here that connects it to an adjacent public road. If we go ahead and click on that little polygon, it brings up the land feature information, and you can see down here what the tenure is an unused road license. Primary production, what that means is that the local owner of the surrounding private property, in this case pastoral land, has a license where they can therefore graze that parcel of land which is actually owned by the Crown. Now, you would think that that would eliminate public access right then and there, but I'll show you a little piece of legislation that basically allays those fears. So what we have here is a document that is issued by the Victorian Department of Environment, Land, Water and Planning, which is subsequently now called DECA, but it basically outlines the licensing of unused roads for agricultural uses, because as I said before, the license for that particular piece of land is for primary production or farming, and it outlines the license conditions. But what you can see down here is that a license over an unused road provides personal permission to enter and use the land for a specific purpose, in this case primary production or farming, and does not offer exclusive use to the licensee. So what that says to me is that whilst the licensee is licensed to actually use that for the purpose laid out in the license, but it doesn't give them exclusive use, which means that the body of land still remains the property of the Crown, and that is yet therefore open to being used by the public in this case to access a particular piece of bushland reserve. So unused road licences still remain the property of the Crown, so it's Crown land, but landowners can then lease that Crown land from the Crown to use for whatever reasons they use. Usually it's like pastoral leases, so grazing, that sort of stuff, access for farmers, but that doesn't give them exclusive use to it. So you as a public citizen can technically use that road reserve to access various parts of public land. So that's what I'm going to do today, and I've mapped it in my Garmin Fenix 6S so that I can stay on that road reserve and stay legal whilst accessing this public bushland up here. Right, the map on my Garmin tells me that the road reserve starts right about here, so that's where I'm going to jump in. There's a strainer post right there, so I'm going to make a beeline directly for that, because that's what the map's telling me. It is literally 100 metres, and then I access the public lands. Move on the course nicely. Right, that was nice and simple. You can see there. Crossed. There you go, there's the sign from Parks Victoria confirming that it is indeed public land. These rock formations, look like something on a hanging rock. That was a creepy movie. So these unused road licenses are all over the state, and the website actually allows you to go in there and check what sort of license it is, and the status. And it doesn't identify who the license holder is, but it gives you a good idea of what you may encounter if you choose to use that particular road. I really wanted to find out whether you could actually camp in these road reserves, but there's no legislation that sort of says one way or the other. But what I did find when I was looking for the legislation was that the license for the unused road reserve does not permit exclusive access for the pastoral licensee or the farmer that has the license for that particular piece of land. So that does allow you to then use it as a public piece of land for access. I wouldn't condone sort of setting up a camp or anything on it, even though I was interested to see if there was the ability to camp on those sites. But it just gives you a bit more access to a wider spread of public land in Victoria, particularly this one here that's surrounded by private property in a legal manner. And that way, we're not missing out on these beautiful geological oddities that are around the state purely because the access is denied by private land. And, on my travels around Google Earth and everything, I'm really glad I found this spot. And then I'm really glad that led me down the rabbit hole of finding out what these unused road licenses actually are, so that it gives you access to more stuff around the state. So I think I'll continue to search that website and see what I can figure out and where I can get access to. Anyway, this video was more about the legalities of accessing public land rather than the actual geology of this place itself, even though it is beautiful. But yeah, that's all I've got for you today, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. It's time to do the return trip. Scale this fence and walk with intent. And we are done. See you, folks. Whoopsie.